I think as a person in an obese body, she is using these other issues around the world and in the country as an excuse to stay fat. And I think a lot of the people in the fat acceptance community do this. Anything to keep eating, basically. And so they'll make their body a statement of political resistance and be like, well, why am I going to lose weight? There's so much other things in the world that I need to fight for and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, baby girl, you make videos on Instagram and you wrote a book that's $20 at Barnes & Noble. Like, you gained 60 pounds in 6 months. You are in danger.
You in danger, girl.
Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as Sunny Side Up Gal, and you are my Sunny Side Up pal. Good morning, good morrow, and good day. Welcome to my should know. Welcome to my channel. If you are new here, please consider giving me a subscribe and go ahead and like the video because we know you're going to like the video. Okay. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being a returning subscriber. You probably have your notifications on. I'm honored. I never would have thought people would turn notifications on for me. If you're a returning viewer and you don't have notifications on and you're not subscribed, what can I do to gain your subscription? Is it just that you forgot? Is it just that you're still testing the waters? You're like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know about this Robin person. I just don't know about her.
What can I do?
So today we are going to chit, we're going to chat, we're going to talk some trash
Garbage.
about a particular creator on the gram who shockingly has quite a bit of following. I wasn't expecting it from the stuff that she posts. Yes. From the stuff that she posts, I was shocked to know that she has over 140,000 followers on the gram. I'm not sure about TikTok, but we will look together because we're going to tear apart.
Allow me to destroy your gallery.
We're not tearing apart. We're not bullying people. We're not ruining lives here. Okay. We're just chitting and chatting and talking trash. We're just two friends talking.
I'm talking to my friends, mama.
And we're having a great time. We're having a great time. We're just imagine you and me, we're just sitting on the couch with our legs crossed. My legs are crossed. No shoes, chitting and chatting and kicking our feet and laughing. So let's just begin. I have nothing else to say. There's no updates. I'm still me. The name of the creator is Cammy Orange. I don't know if that's her last name. She did write a book though. I feel like I have to know. Let's take a look here. Cammy Orange, Boundary Coach. It could just be a favorite color. Say the thing. So she wrote a book. She also has flashcards. She does a bunch of flashcards. We're going to go through her page just really quick. I just am interested. $10 for the flashcards. Say the Thing book. Boundary setting scripts and phrases to communicate directly and speak up with kindness. Available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble. Let's check Barnes & Noble. Okay, beautiful. I do like the art on, I mean, it's just watercolor, but I think it's I would look at this. I would pick this up. If I saw this when I was walking to a Barnes & Noble, I would pick this up. $20. A free audiobook. So here's Cammy Orange's page. So she is a boundary coach, author of Save the Thing, Fat, Queer, Autistic, Plant, Parent. Let's scroll through. I've covered her before. I'll put the reel in now.
During dinner, we're chatting, I'm getting to know Dan, and Dan turns to me, looks me in the face and goes, you know, I don't really like fat people. And so, of course, I immediately go, whoa, Dan, that is not okay.
I feel like that did not happen. I've only covered a couple of her reels, I think, though. Maybe just one. But I've followed her since then because that's what I do. Should I be following them? Who knows? I like it though. I do, because then I get like, if you follow them, then you get them on your feed and you don't have to like go and search, you know? I mean, if they want to block me, they can block me, but I'll find you.
'Cause I'd find you.
If I can remember your name, you have to be memorable. So you gotta be memorable to be on this channel. All right, so the reason why I picked her is she does a lot of fat activism on her page. I'm pretty sure I gathered she doesn't have a ton of posts on here. I'm pretty sure I gathered all of her fat activists reels, and we're just gonna pick apart and nitpick and chat and discuss, okay? But she does do boundary coaching on other situations, like what would you do if your aunt brought up politics? And I would just tell her every politician is a crook, and I don't trust a single one.
Ford was president, Nixon was in the White House, and FDR was running this country into the ground.
You know, just things like that, right? So here is my collection of her. This fucking first picture is crazy.
If I don't
Yeah, look at that smile. I'm gonna start at the bottom and move on up.
Just move on.
So this is her journey from doing body positivity to fat activism. So she's officially no longer a body positive creator. She is a fat activist. And I don't like fat activists because why?
Why? Why? Because we fucking can.
I believe that obesity we're in the middle of a terrible obesity epidemic. I think that obesity is an issue with this country and within the world. I mean, there are more people who are malnourished due to obesity rather than starvation now. And I think when people stick up and defend fat activism or being obese or existing in a larger body, and glorifying or trying to normalize obesity, I think that is a harmful behavior and I cannot allow it. So when I see a fat activist online, I'm going to talk about you. Me going to say something.
Bird feeder while we talk about fatness and food. Years ago, I was at the airport and I got chatting with another passenger who told me she is a therapist specializing in body image. And it came up in the conversation that I love being fat. And she's like, what? Why? And I said, well, when I first got fat, I gained 60 pounds in 6 months. And
Oh my God. If you gained 60 pounds in 6 months, that's a problem. I hope they're going to explain why. But if you gained 60 pounds in 6 months and it wasn't due to some kind of medical issue, like it wasn't due to heart failure or kidney failure or any kind of, if it wasn't body fat that you were gaining, it was just like water weight or whatever. If you gained 60 pounds purely from eating, first of all, call Guinness.
Call Guinness.
What's the world record for the amount of weight that you could gain in 6 months?
I gained and lost 60 pounds in 3 months.
Second of all, you need help. Somebody should step in. Literally, you guys. If somebody was at a healthy weight and they lost 60 pounds and they turned into Skeletor, actually Skeletor has muscles. If they turn into a skeleton, you would step in. Somebody would step in and help. But for some reason, when it comes to obesity, if somebody gains 60 pounds in 6 months, nobody's jumping in. Nobody cares. Why don't we care? I care. If my husband gained 60 pounds in 6 months, I'd be like, we need to get you into like some kind of a treatment center or something because you have a problem. That's a problem. That is a problem. 60 pounds in 6 months, 10 pounds a month. Something's wrong with you. It's either mental or it's physical. Like you have a pituitary tumor.
It's not a tumor.
Yeah. No. 60 pounds in 6 months is fucking wild. That's food addiction. If it's from food, if they gained 60 pounds from eating, that's food addiction. Okay, that is food addiction. Somebody needs to step in and help you. Okay, someone needs to step in. Help this girl.
I had really hated my body. I just really detested how I looked. And then suddenly I was a lot fatter really quickly and I had a choice to make. I could decide, I'm going to just keep with this self-loathing, or I decided...
No, honestly, if I gained 60 pounds in 6 months, your feelings don't matter at that point. Like, baby, you are in danger. Like, 60 pounds of fat. Like, they're not even saying, she didn't even say that it was from, like, no excuses. I have lipedema, I have PCOS, yada, yada, yada. She made zero excuses. And she went straight to, I'm going to just stop hating myself and I'm just going to lay back and be like, I love this new fat body.
I could love myself so much that no matter what happened, if my body never changed, I would still be okay. And I picked the second option. And so I went on this journey where I was like, okay, what do I have to do to love my body? And I posed nude for an art.
Is it bothering anybody else that half of this is making it in? Like, she's pouring it. She's using a camera. She's viewing it through the camera, but it was bothering me.
Class, which was amazing. And they're like, oh, your body's so interesting. It's art. And I was like, oh, maybe I'm art. And
okay, so if you missed that, she did things to help her feel better about her fat body, and she posed nude for artists, and they said that her body was interesting. That's interesting. If somebody looked at my body and they're like, wow, your body's so interesting, I'd be like,
I took lots of nudes and sexy photos.
Okay, so the only reason that you feel better with your body is because you went from not feeling sexy about it to sexualizing your body, which means that and sexy to who? Sexy to you or sexy to the gaze of man or a woman, right? To the gaze of others. I don't think that's a healthy way to. I don't think that's a healthy transition into like self-acceptance. I need to accept my body. Let me try to be sexy. That just feels like you're just looking for outside approval as well. You need the outside approval because what is sexy? Who created it in your mind, right? What is sexy to you? And then let's link who put that sexy thought into your mind. Probably a guy. Maybe your husband. You know what I mean? Like you're accepting your body for using the idea of others, which I don't think is healthy.
And most importantly, I started following people online who did this work.
Okay, so I went from disliking myself to liking myself because I felt sexy, which I guess sometimes I'm on the fence. Let me know what you think. And then she decided to put herself into an echo chamber by following only people who do that too. Maybe not only, but I think it's very important, you guys, that we follow people who that you have a good blend of people that you listen to, right? I think it's a good idea to have a blend, in my opinion. Plus the internet's always trying to lie to you. But don't trust me, I'm just a girl on the internet.
And so I got really involved with, caring about body positivity. And along the way, I realized, body positivity is an individual experience. It's an individual focus. Like, I want to be positive about my body. And what really matters is fat liberation, fat activism, and caring that fat people are discriminated against.
Please shut up. I want to know where are fat people being discriminated? Where are fat people being discriminated? Fat people get married every day. Fat people marry skinny people. Fat people can can travel. Fat people can get jobs. Fat people can literally do anything that a thin person can do. Sorry, not thin. A healthy person can do. Fat people, obese people, people who are overweight can do exactly everything that a person who is of healthy weight can do. I mean socially, I do not mean physically. LOL. If you're talking about the fact that obese people or people who are overweight, fat people, can't find clothing, can't find thongs.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way.
Can't fit on a roller coaster ride, can't fit on an airplane ride. Are you expecting the world to like literally grow every fucking 10 years when the demographic also grows? I feel like we just keep getting fatter and fatter and fatter. Although yes, plane seats have gotten smaller, but there's a limit. There's a limit on how much we can allow. There's a limit on how much the world will allow. We already have Alaskan king beds, right? We have beds. They're selling beds that are made for fat people, obese people that don't sink in as much. Like, what are you expecting? Do you want everything to grow with you? We already have zero space. Housing crisis is already bad enough with pricing. Now you want to are we looking to just like take over all the wetlands to fill houses that are fat enough for fucking fat people? Like, what do you expect? conflicting. But seriously, where is the discrimination? Tell me where your rights are infringed on as a obese or an overweight person. Tell me.
Caring that they're paid less and treated.
Okay, the whole paid less. Let me know if I'm wrong. We're just cheating. We're just chatting. I'm just a person on the internet. But I think I read somewhere that the paid less situation is like they take the salary of a person, like the annual salary of a person who's obese, the annual salary of a person who is of healthy weight. So you've got obese person who makes, let's just do fun numbers. Okay, $100,000. And then you've got that. So an obese person made $100,000 a year. And then you've got a person of healthy size who made $120,000 a year. The person who made $100,000 a year, and they both make the same, those are actually high numbers. Like, I feel like those would be salary numbers versus like hourly numbers, but we're spitballing. Okay. So imagine that they both get paid the same amount hourly. They work in construction or something. Like they have per diem, and they also do like prevailing wage jobs. If you're in the biz, you guys know what I'm talking about. So they make a shit ton of money hourly. Okay. So they both make the same amount hourly, but the person who is overweight got paid less because they probably missed more work, which is statistically true. People who are of obese miss work more often, they go to the doctor more often, or they get sick more often than a person who is of healthy weight, right? I believe that's the situation. If I'm wrong, I'll put in a post edit or something like that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. All right, so super interesting article. This is from med.stanford.edu. I will link all my sources below. I'll try to link them all. Just going to skim right through. Researchers compared the hourly wages of obese and non-obese workers with health insurance, adjusting for several factors including education, experience, and job type. They found that obese insured workers earned significantly less per hour than non-obese insured workers. $3.41 less in 1998. When analyzing the wages in greater detail, they found that the gap is modest when these workers are young, but widens over time, meaning that this set of obese workers' pay rises more slowly than that of non-obese workers with employment-based health insurance. The researchers then compared the hourly wages of obese and non-obese workers without on-the-job insurance. This time they found that there was no significant difference in pay. This finding that an obesity-related wage difference existed only for those with employer-sponsored health insurance signaled that the obese workers' lower pay could be explained by their higher expected medical costs instead of outright prejudice. Wow, interesting. To further test this hypothesis, the researchers examined whether a wage gap existed between obese and non-obese workers receiving other kinds of benefits such as retirement plans or life insurance. They found no wage difference in those instances, thus reinforcing the idea that pay adjustment results from greater healthcare costs. So, basically, if you are obese and you are getting your work-sponsored health insurance, you are going to pay more for that health insurance. So when we lived in Oregon, we actually had a lady come down to our house when we were applying for health insurance through my husband's job. She had to come and weigh us, and I think she took blood. She asked if we smoked cigarettes. We lied. But I wonder if we paid more for my health insurance because I was more obese.
Worse, and there's just all of this completely ridiculous stigma about fat bodies. And
no example of what the stigma is.
It overlaps with white supremacy.
Oh my god, the white supremacy thing. Shut up. I vehemently believe that, is that the right word? I really, really hate the whole fat phobia is rooted in racism argument, because it's untrue. Humans have been concerned about obesity and body size since like ancient Greece, ancient Roman times, ancient Grecian times, okay? A great example is that Hippocrates, the father of medicine, found that obesity was related to or linked to reduced fertility and earlier death. Noted. I think he also, I'll check. I think he was also the one who like PCOS. PCOS was discovered like, I think 200 years ago. I'm not 100% sure. I'll put in a plug. But I believe Hippocrates had documented PMOS back in, Hippocrates' time, ancient Greece. So although it could have been influenced by racism, I would not say that. I don't think that the current weight stigma, if any, the current weight stigma or the current issues with obesity are absolutely unrelated to race. They are 100% justifiably related to the fact that being obese is never going to be okay or healthy.
It overlaps with
poverty and classism. Please. There are fat rich people.
poverty and classism. It overlaps.
Also, if it completely disregarding the fact that obesity is unhealthy, people are willing to stay obese because they don't want to be associated with the fact that, and I'm quoting, if you're just listening, this is not real, but the fact that obesity is related to racism or classism, et cetera, right? It's not like you're willing to, it feels like you're willing to disable yourself as a political statement. Do you know what I mean?
With disability politics, that is a collective work and a collective movement that I have the opportunity to participate in.
I gained 60 pounds in 6 months. I am so excited to be a part of this collective movement of fat liberation. Baby, you're in danger. Like, you're in a cult. Call your dad. If you know, you know.
I'm Cammy Orange. I'm a boundary coach, and I help people say the thing.
If somebody is commenting on what you eat or what you wear or just how you're existing in your body, that is my specialty. That is the aspect of fat.
Off subject, do I need to get a bird feeder? That sounds like so much fun.
Activism, fat liberation that I care about. That is the corner where I'm staking my flag and saying, hey, I'm here to help you.
For more boundary content, come follow along, or you can check out my book, Say the Thing. Let's refill the bird feeder while we talk.
Anyway, let's keep going. Let's just keep jumping into what she's got to say. She is so interesting to me, but also, it's like, who's paying you? You know, what are we doing here? Okay, so this said poem on being fat in America. Fat Fallen Empire, a poem by me, Cammy Orange, about being a fat woman online in 2026 America. Our cultural obsession. Oh, let me show you guys so you can read along as well. White supremacy, which she spelled white with a Y, which keeps selfish people in power. You can't march the streets or protest class warfare if you are fixated on being smaller. Girl, y'all, they keep doing this. We can't keep letting them get away with this.
You can't keep getting away with this.
They keep doing this. This is a carbon copy on top of a carbon copy on top of a carbon copy of speaking of talking points that the fat acceptance community is and misinformation that the fat acceptance community is spreading. So like this has been brought up quite a bit. So if you are fascists are focused on making people thinner because they think that if you're thin, you cannot march the front lines and protest. I've never seen a 600-pound person at a fucking protest. You can't march the streets or protest class warfare if you're fixated on being smaller. That's not true. Right? Body standards are unevenly applied to Black, brown, and racialized people. In turn, this hurts disabled and poor people. Those fucking sentences together, body standards are unevenly applied to Black, brown, and racialized people. In turn, this hurts disabled and poor people who are a higher percentage to those communities in America. So you're telling me it feels very stereotypical and like a statement of racism, to my opinion. To me, that says you believe that. To me, that makes me think that this person thinks that, like, I don't know, it just makes me feel like you just think that all Black people, all Black and brown people, people of color are disabled and poor and fat. I don't know. It just feels like that. It just feels like that when you bring race into fatness. I'm just like, please stop. Like, let's just focus on the fatness. At this point, when people call me fat as an online insult, I assume they are someone who benefits from white supremacy. And so far, I have been correct each time I check their social profiles. God, this person's a fucking weirdo. Let me be clear, liberal leftist radical spaces online are not typically fat friendly. What? Liberal leftist radical spaces online. Actually, I do believe that they are fat friendly, but that group doesn't go trolling. Oh, that's so strange. Do you believe? That's weird. Okay, let me be super clear. Liberal leftist radical spaces online are not typically fat friendly, but that group doesn't go trolling in comment section saying she's fat, so her thoughts are invalid, like conservative right extremists. Another visual. I can't do with visual descriptions. I'm so sorry. I am a fucking asshole.
Citizen of the internet with opinions that disrupt. On the daily, I'm called fat in an attempt to shut me up. They call me a fat cow, pig, whale. How dare you and your double chin speak? She's sure to break the scale. Your food boundaries must be weak. And sometimes the comments get tedious, for I am knowingly, delightedly, gloriously fat. The world needs so much more of me, not less.
Oh.
I don't seek to be smaller or thinner like that. I refuse to navel gaze and obsess over my size when there are so many more important things happening outside. The inches of my hips or the Hormuz blocked ships. The width of my lap or my neighbor's kidnapped. My calories taken in or the billionaire's sins. The size of my shirt or my trans family's hurt. This is the fall of the American empires. Why are you distracted by weight loss liars? If your hobby is commenting online that I'm fat, that tells me all about you.
Then my poem smells like poo. That. Okay. The poem, clever, I guess. We're trying to be nice here. I'm a firm believer that you can only water the garden that you can reach, right? So although all this other terrible things are happening in this country or across the globe, me today as a middle-class citizen who has to, work 40 hours a week or more, and I have, I'm very privileged to have a job. I'm very thankful that I have, money in the bank account and a roof over my head and clothing and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't have with all the other things going on in my life right now, what I can focus on, the garden that I can water is my home and like my health journey. And I wouldn't, as an individual, there's nothing I can do about the Hormuz Strait. There's nothing I can do about war right now, right? Can I, sure, we can protest, that's on the weekend or whatever, whenever they happen. But I am not, I don't like, they often talk about mental health and like protecting your peace and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't think that, we all can take on the troubles and the fires of the world right now. I really don't. And I think that when you live in an obese body, I think as a person in an obese body, she is using these other issues around the world and in the country as an excuse to stay fat. And I think a lot of the people in the fat acceptance community do this. They anything to keep eating, basically. And so they'll make their body a statement of political resistance, and be like, well, why am I going to lose weight? There's so much other things in the world that I need to fight for, and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, baby girl, you make videos on Instagram and you wrote a book that's $20 at Barnes & Noble. Like, you gained 60 pounds in 6 months. You are in danger.
You in danger, girl.
You are in danger. Okay, so this says 3 replies to body size jokes. What to say when you're joking about somebody's size? Response, okay.
Don't say that. I wouldn't allow someone to make that joke about you behind your back, so I'm not going to let you make jokes like that behind someone else's back. Hell, it's not okay to joke about people's appearances like that. Knock it off. That's not funny. Hey, don't say that.
I want to hear the jokes, though. I thought you were going to say the jokes.
Let's refill the bird feeder while we talk about I'm fat, I hate AI, and I recently updated my video descriptions, so let's talk about it. On all of my videos, I put a video description in the captions for people who are blind or low vision and are using a screen reader. It used to look like this, where it just has little brackets, and it says, bracket, video description, and then it describes what was on the screen. Cammy is a fat white woman, blah, 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 blah. Blah. I kept getting comments where people were like, oh, The AI generated video description is calling you fat. This is so terrible. So I changed it to say description for people who are using screen readers because I was hoping that would make it more clear that it's not AI generated. And it still says Cammy is a fat white woman. No, people still think it's auto generated. This week I added a new feature where it says
Note for people who dislike the screen reader description, I wrote it. It's not automatically generated. I am describing myself for people who are blind or low vision so they know that what's happening in the video. I am fat. I am also tall. I don't know if you're tall. We got to see.
For people who dislike the video description, I wrote it. I wrote it. I wrote it.
I am fat. I am also tall. Both of these are neutral descriptive adjectives telling me that I am being mean to myself by acknowledging my fatness as a projection of your anti-fat beliefs.
This is not auto-generated. And if you're like, oh, don't say that you're fat, you're being mean to yourself. That is a projection of your anti-fat beliefs. Not my problem.
I feel like she tries to be like sassy and it just comes off as like fake sassy. You're fake sassy. Wait a second. Am I brave for being fat in a crop top?
Wow, you are so brave to wear something revealing like that.
Oh, I think it's okay to just say you look great. Doesn't have to be about my bravery.
Oh, I just,
She barely can breathe. Just saying. That's what gaining 60 pounds in 6 months will do for you.
With you're confident with the way
Dude, the breathing. I cannot!
the weight. You're a big girl.
I love my outfit and I refuse to feel shame about the way I dress.
That's good. I wish I could feel that way.
I hope someday you do. I'm Cammy Orange. I'm a boundary coach and I help kind people to say the thing. For more boundary phrases, come follow along, or you can check out my book, Say the Thing.
Wow, you are so brave to...
This is a problem. I mean, look at her stomach.
Wow, you are so brave to wear...
And she literally cannot breathe.
Something...
Like, I'm not going to say much else. I do kind of feel bad for her. Here's some of her boundary coaching.
Appreciate your curiosity, but that is not a question I'm going to answer. Let's change the subject. I'm Cammy Orange. I'm a boundary coach, and I collect boundary phrases. This is one of my top 10 favorite boundary phrases right now. Story time. I had a call center job in my early 20s where we had a lot of downtime. And so one day my coworker Megan pops up over the cubicle wall like a prairie dog and goes, Cammy, would you rather sleep with Jason or Sean? And those were our two shift supervisors.
Oh, that is really weird. We're going to learn a lesson from her.
And so I said, I appreciate your curiosity, but that is not a question I'm going to answer. Because I know how call centers work. If I had said Jason, then by the next day...
So Jason is your answer. We all know now.
Rumors are going around like Cammy has a crush on Jason. And I'm not going to play that game. So thankfully, I was prepared with a boundary phrase. And if you want more boundary phrases, you can come follow along. Remember, if you want to have boundaries, you got to say the thing.
What is your favorite boundary setting sentence? I guess, if that's the right word. Are there any boundaries that... I'm basically an open book, so I really don't have a lot of boundaries. I really don't. Like, should I? I feel like I definitely trauma dumped in my members video this weekend. But I don't really have boundaries. I should. I mean, I have boundaries, but like maybe that's what trauma does. Like, you just are like an open book. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But there's really nothing off limits. I mean, if you're trying to get like details, I'm not going to go into detail about a lot of stuff, but I am an open book. I am an open book. Okay, this says, please don't comment on my body. Please don't comment on my body. Oh, there's literally nothing. Thank you, Cammy. I will cut that. Okay, so this is about weight loss compliments. You've lost weight. Isn't the compliment? People assume it is because you never know why somebody has lost weight. It could be from grief, stress, illness, or something worse. Not all weight Not all weight loss is positive, so it's better not to mention it at all. This skit includes 2 boundary phrases you can use. Bodies change. I don't think it's worth remarking on. I don't like talking about my weight. Let's talk about something else.
Oh, dearie, it's so nice. Oh, dearie, it's so nice to see you, and you've finally lost that baby weight. I am so proud of you.
You know, I think bodies just change, Aunt Martha. I don't think it's worth remarking on.
Oh, I'm just trying to pay you a compliment, dear.
I get that. I don't really like talking about my weight. If that's okay, let's talk about something else.
Oh, how about we check on those lemon bars?
I think that's a good idea. I'm Cammy Orange. I'm a boundary coach, and I help kind people to say the thing. For more boundary phrases, come follow.
Okay, I know this is actually a pretty common thing, but this is about me. This is about her breathing as well. I think her lips look like they're kind of turning purple, or like her tongue as well. This could be foundation on her face. This could just be her complexion. But I think there is something medically wrong with Cammy. Like, I think the obesity is obstructing her breathing.
Follow along, or you can check out my book, Say the Thing.
Oh, dearie, it's so nice to see you, and you've finally lost.
Okay, I'm trying not to say anything about people's appearances.
If I comb my bangs forward, if I don't want to.
Okay, so this is the last one. For boundary phrases, I use the doctor's office as a fat person. Oh, sorry. Let me try that again. For boundary phrases, I use at the doctor's office as a fat person.
If I don't want to step on the scale at the doctor's, I say, oh, I don't want to be weighed today. If I don't want to talk about my fatness at the doctor, I say, oh, I'm not here to talk about my weight. I'm here to talk about fill in the blank, whatever the issue is. If they refuse to test me for certain things because of my fatness, I say, I would like it noted in my chart that you are refusing to test me for X, Y, and Z.
Okay, again, these are another carbon copy of a carbon copy of a carbon copy of other fat acceptance creators have also used all of these. I'm not sure if she what's bothering me is she acts like she invented this technique to avoid being weighed at the doctor, or to avoid talking about weight at the doctor, when, like, we've heard for years many other fat activist creators using the same talking points, right? It's weird.
If they push and insist on me getting on the scale and I don't want to,
why is it that they're like, I know I'm fat, I don't care that I'm fat, bodies are bodies, blah 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 blah, but then for some reason seeing the number on the scale is going to send them to is going to ruin their day. Like, I don't understand. If you know that you are obese, clearly she knows she's gained 60 pounds in 6 months, right? If you know that you are obese, why is it an issue for you to get on a scale? The doctors do need to know. Like, I mean, clearly that's how you found out that you gained 60 pounds in 6 fucking months. But the doctors need to know your weight to want to measure. It's a measure. It is a measurement of health, right? If you're obese, there's so many comorbidities that go with obesity. It can cause, I'll list them. It can lead to type 2 diabetes, heart disease, cardiovascular disease, etc., etc., etc. Sleep apnea, which I'm sure you have, even though you're awake.
Sleep apnea.
yeah, no
but you're
kidding.
awake.
No kidding.
Again, kidney issues, and everything kind of snowballs together. They're even saying that obesity can lead to type 2 diabetes, which is also going to lead to, like, which is hand in hand with Alzheimer's. So, like, if you're obese, you have a higher risk at getting Alzheimer's. It's frustrating. It's like, why do you care about being weighed? Is it just an act of resistance for you that gives you some kind of pleasure? It feels like that. It feels like they just want to. They think that refusing to be weighed at the doctor's office is going to give them a point in the race to win the fat acceptance popularity contest. And it's just like, baby, you're alone. You're born alone. You're gonna die alone. You need to take care of yourself. Okay? I'm not gonna die alone. Me and Michael are gonna die on the same day, even when we're miles apart.
Or die at the same exact time, even if we're miles apart. Our hearts will just know.
Yeah, it's so flabbergasting flabbergasting. I think that's right. It's so flabbergasting. It's banana bonkers. It's sending me to the hospital.
I say, if this was a visit with an anesthesiologist or you're prescribing me meds that are dosed by weight, then I
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. Exactly. Yeah, she's explaining it.
would, but otherwise it's not relevant to what we're here to discuss, so I'm not going to do that today. I'm Cammy Orange, I'm a boundary coach, and I help people say the thing. For more boundary phrases like this, you can come follow along, or you can check out my book, Say the Thing. If I don't want to step on the scale,
I want to know how old she is. Because she mentions that, and I know that people get hormonal acne. Okay. But I feel like this is because your diet sucks, Cammy. I saw you eating canned chowder. I'm kind of interested in if she has a TikTok. I'm interested in knowing how she has such a large following. Okay, on TikTok, she has 288,000 followers. How the fuck did she get here? Honestly, being judgmental, being mean, I think she's fucking lame, right? That's mean. I understand that. But I think she's lame as hell. How did she get to be so popular on on TikTok? Is it because TikTok's lame? TikTok's for the lamos? When was the last time that she posted? Okay. Reposts. Does she repost anything about fatness? Oh.
in this one particular thing, or in all.
I did realize that my camera has turned off, so hold on. And now I'm orange again. Fucking great. I think that's right. All right, nice job. How do I get that comfortable with myself? I hate my body, and people just say that. People just say don't say that, but I still think it.
That's not your fault. It is your responsibility to do something about it, but it's not your fault because you exist in a world where there's constant messages that say a body that looks like yours, and I don't even have to see your body to be able to tell.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Other than just like, you know, what I watch on Instagram and YouTube and stuff like that, like the anti-fat acceptance stuff, as far as like it is so easy to put yourself into an echo chamber, and I doubt that this person's commenter is in an echo chamber that tells them that they're not supposed to be in a fat body. Maybe when they go out, or if they see, I just don't see where Cammy is saying that like we're inundated with anti-fat bias all over, right? There's messages all over us, all over the world telling us to be thin. You know, I can see like, you know, you feeling that way because it's a popular thing or something like that, but I don't know.
I'll tell you this, most bodies, 99.9% of bodies, there's something about them that we're like, oh, you shouldn't look that way in this one particular thing, or in all the particular things. What is it they say? Oh, you just gestured to all of me. Yes. Like, you live in a world where you're inundated with messages that a body like yours should not exist. That is a systemic issue. That is not an individual. Like, you didn't cause this problem. This is not about you individually not just like having enough body positivity and confidence. No, you live in a world that is constantly telling you that bodies like yours should not exist, and that is.
What if this person like lived in a small body? They were just like, I just have body dysmorphia, or I hate myself.
Do something about it, but it's not your fault because you exist in a world, you live in a world that is constantly telling you that bodies like yours should not exist, and that is not your fault. The responsibility part comes in working on those thoughts yourself and also advocating for fat liberation. If you secretly...
Yeah, so if you hate yourself, you need to seek therapy and then also fight for fat liberation, and then you'll feel better about yourself. Like, no, just like seek therapy. Or if you actually know what's wrong with yourself, like if you're like, I hate my body because I'm fucking 300 pounds overweight, then okay, lose some weight, baby. I guarantee you will feel better. Dude, I think I might have to do another episode on her if she's interesting enough. Maybe not. I really don't think she is interesting enough. I think that she, again, is a like kind of a lame-o. All right, so we're gonna call it. I want to reiterate, I do kind of think that she's a lame-o. I think that she talks to people in a way that is very similar to like how an adult talks to children. And I don't like that because we're all adults here, right? I don't like when people talk to me like I'm a child when I'm fucking 35 years old. I understand that there are some people who do work well with that, but just for me, I'm just like, nah, girl, give it to me straight. I would say that some of her boundary coaching, I think, is kind of interesting. I think it is actually a little bit helpful. Some people do have an issue with setting boundaries. Me, I just ghost people. Like, I do have a problem with confronting or confrontation, but I will disappear.
Gotcha.
I will disappear. You will never hear from me again. There's no boundary. The boundary is me leaving you. The boundary is space. Okay, that's what I do. But I think it is important for people to know how to use boundary. Hi, baby. Boundary setting sentences. Is that what the word? I think some people would find some use in her coaching. The only reason why I even brought her up was just because she is a self-proclaimed fat activist, and I can't allow that. I can't allow I can't allow a single I until I die. Until the day I die. I will I will call out every fat activist that I see and continue to teach the world that we do live in an active obesity epidemic. If you are obese, that is a problem. I wish nothing but the best of health for you. But if you are obese and you are on the internet gaining traction, spreading the misinformation that obesity is unrelated to health or unhealthiness, dieting doesn't work, that 95% of diets fail, etc., etc., etc. Weight and health are unrelated, etc., etc. Intentional weight loss is inherently harmful and harmful to those around you, etc., etc. And that intentional weight loss is a form of violence. I will call you out. I will nitpick. I will make fun of you. You lose! We will not be friends until you decide to change your ways. Good day, sir! If you're a fat acceptance person and you decide to join the anti-fat acceptance movement, you will be welcomed with open arms. However, if you are a fat acceptance creator and you leave the fat acceptance movement, they will pretend that you died. In the arms of an angel. Some comfort here. So, folks, what did you guys think about Cammy Orange? Again, I think that she has some useful tips and tricks for those who need to build boundaries. However, again, fat acceptance, no, yuck. We don't like it. We hate it. Please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought. Go ahead and like the video if you haven't already liked it. If you haven't subscribed yet, it's almost an hour in, maybe not, maybe I cut out a bunch. Go ahead and subscribe. And if it's giving you the option to hype this video, please hype it because it really does help out my channel. Check the link below because if you'd like to become a member, it's only $2 a month and you get could you pay? You get an extra episode every weekend and you get member first popularity. Yes, you do get, it is a popularity contest. If you become a member, you get member first on all the videos, most of them. It's usually like a few hours before they go public, or like the day before if I'm productive. But anyway, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day and be excellent.
Last day I knew you were my pet. I wanna tell you that I love you.